Welcome to the Museum of Ventura County. I'm Renee Talent, Manager of Historic Collections here at the museum, and your host for Feast or Flop. I'm collaborating with Adam Hart, the Director of the Culinary Arts Program at Oxnard College. Today, Adam's creation is Lima bean loaf. I'm here today with Chef Adam, and we are at Oxnard College at the
Culinary Arts Program here at Oxnard College.
It's time for our appetizer. For this one, I have chosen a recipe from the PTA cookbook. I chose this recipe specifically because it features the lima bean. The lima bean is so important to Ventura County's history. For a long time, from 1900 all the way up through 1950, 1960, Ventura County was supplying 75% of the world's lima beans. Now, they're different. So this is not the same variety that they were growing back then. The legend for lima beans is that they came off one of the ships on the wharf, and someone pointed at the sack of lima beans and said, "What's that?" And the person said that they were from Lima, Peru. Mm-hmm. And the hearer misinterpreted and heard Lima and went with Lima. So that's how we end up with the lima bean, allegedly, here in Ventura County.
Got it.
And it was a perfect crop for Ventura County because it can be dry farmed. So there wasn't irrigation necessary. It was completely fed by the ocean humidity and by whatever rain happened in the summer. But because we weren't a rain-intensive area, you didn't have to support it with poles. I mean, it grew incredibly well given our climate. And so it just exploded as a cash crop for Ventura. So at that time, we were doing a dry variety of lima beans. So they would be ripened on the vine and then let to dry and then harvested and packed into sacks and then shipped off.
And I can tell it's a beautiful color. It's a lima bean.
It's a lima bean.
You know, but when I was handling it, I was like, this is going to be a little bit difficult to work with. You know, we have to make a few different accommodations to sort of make it act the way it would have back in the 1930s.
Yeah.
So.
Tastes change. That's part of why it's not the #1 crop in Ventura County, because people's tastes changed and the market changed and there wasn't a need for it.
It just needs a good agent and a good PR spin to bring it back to life. Look at kale.
I was just going to say, it could be the next kale, the next quinoa.
Absolutely.
Lima beans, because they're incredibly nutritious.
They're wonderful. They're wonderful. If you've got some ingredients in there that I'm personally excited about this recipe.
Yeah.
Because we have some Americana stuff in here that, you know, we've got the American cheese, we've got some tomato soup, we've got some flavors that I think are going to really bring out a really nice kind of nostalgia for this dish. Let's get into this.
Quick lima bean fact while you're adding that.
Please.
One of the largest lima bean ranches in Ventura in 1891 packaged over 1,000 tons of lima beans, which filled 31,000 sacks and 103 rail cars full of lima beans. That's the volume of lima bean that we're talking about. That was
amazing.
One ranch in 1891.
That's
that's the
amazing.
scale of lima bean that we're talking about in this county.
And we just don't use it that often anymore, which is a shame.
And by the 1970s, it's almost gone. It has fallen out of fashion and farmers had to adapt. I love you brought up the grilled cheese and tomato soup.
Yeah.
This is definitely like a healthier version of the grilled cheese and tomato soup. You get breadcrumbs, you get your cheese.
You've got bread, you've got cheese, you got tomato soup. You're just kind of incorporating those lima beans in there as well.
The more we talk about this, the more excited I am to taste it.
It's starting to be, like I said, it's got some of that Americana kind of feel to it. And so I'm really hoping that it works out. So now it does have that kind of consistency to it. And I think that if we put it
Will it
into the
loaf?
loaf pan, I think that American cheese is going to help. I'm really going to put a lot of my hopes and dreams on that American cheese and see what happens. Okay, so the next part of the recipe calls for the tomato soup. And what you have here is a can of condensed Campbell's soup, which has been around for a very, very long time.
Yeah, they first started selling it in 1890s, 1895, and then by the 1930s, when this recipe comes out, they have added the "Mm-mm good" slogan.
Got it, got it. This smells like my childhood.
It smells like grilled cheese.
Okay.
Oh, it looks good.
It doesn't look bad. It definitely got that caramelization on there.
Nicely browned.
Nicely browned. Very hot, so we're gonna let it sit for about 10 minutes or so. And let's see what happens.
Okay. Plate them up. I'm so excited to taste these, and then we'll find out if they're a feast or a flop.
Let's see. So I'll let you,
All right,
Yeah, go
I'll
for
start
it.
on this end.
Yeah.
Get a nice dunk in the
It needs that tomato soup.
soup. Mostly tastes like tomato soup.
Yeah. I mean, there's some lima bean flavor coming through in there. I'm not getting as much of the cheese as I thought I would, to be quite honest with you. The chew is, it's got a big chew to it also. It's hearty. This is something that I think if I were to put, on a dinner table as an appetizer, this portion would be entirely too big.
Yes.
But if I was to have this for lunch, I think I would be pretty happy with something like this. I bet it transports really well and something that can reheat really well also.
I'm gonna go for just the loaf.
Okay. Different? All right, then I'm going in.
Different. Do it. And different to taste it when you're not on the edge. You definitely get the cheese. You definitely get the softer flavor. I think the soup, I'm saying it, I'm not into the soup, but I am into the loaf.
I think you lose a lot with the soup.
Yeah,
I
it
think it's
overpowers
taking away.
everything.
I think this is actually really tasty.
I do too.
Yeah, not bad. I would eat this.
Yeah, I would too.
I would eat this. I don't know if my kids would, but I would.
Sure, agree.
Okay. So
all of these recipes are going to be available online for you guys if you want to try them at home. You'll be able to decide for yourself what was a feast and what was a flop. Maybe you'll have different opinions than us. And happy cooking.